What's up, rockers? We're back after taking a week off for another episode of IRB.
Sorry for the wait on music news, reviews, and everything.
Stay tuned for a performance by another talented musician.
Heck yeah, I'm excited. Tracy Chapman is suing Nicki Minaj? According to BBC News, singer-songwriter Tracy Chapman is suing rapper Nicki Minaj for sampling her song without permission. Minaj used Chapman's 1988 hit, Baby Can I Hold You, despite the fact that she was told not to. Minaj used the sample on a song, Sorry, off her new album titled Queen. The lawsuit between the two claims that Anika Tanya Mirage, otherwise known as Nicki Minaj, tried multiple times to get permission to use the song for a sample after she'd already recorded it. Court documents show that Funkmaster Flex played it on his radio show as well as teased it on his Twitter and Instagram accounts after Minaj gave him a sample. Quote, "This action is necessary to redress Minaj's disregard and willful infringement of Chapman's rights under the Copyright Act, and to ensure that her misconduct is not repeated," the lawsuit adds. However, in July, Minaj tweeted that she had no clue that she had sampled the song. She also attempted to reach out to Chapman and ask for permission.
On Tuesday, October 23rd, the Nashville-based guitar company Gibson Brands announced a new set of executives who hope to guide the business through a pivotal transition in its 124-year history as the company emerges from bankruptcy protection. The company's newly named president and CEO is James Curley, who's exiting his role as president of Levi Strauss & Company to take the position. The rest of the newly appointed leadership team is Chief Merchant Officer Cesar Goikian, Chief Financial Officer Kim Mattoon, and Chief of Production Christian Schmidt. Earlier this month, a U.S. bankruptcy court in Delaware approved the company's reorganization plan, which allows it to exit bankruptcy and keep itself in business. Under the reorganization plan, the company will continue to manufacture its famous Gibson and Epiphone guitars, as well as maintain its professional audio business that makes studio monitors and loudspeakers under the names KRK and Cerwin-Vega. It'll be dropping its efforts to push into the home entertainment and headphone categories, areas that the company had once hoped would make up for the decline in their instrument sales, which accounted for most of their debt.
There's a lot of lawsuits around musicians stealing from other artists.
Although money isn't exactly tight for someone like Nicki Minaj, it seems like Gibson Brands doesn't have the same kind of luck.
Although they got out of bankruptcy, how long will that last?
Guess only time will tell.
Hopefully this means they will start making more money. Anyway, up next is Music Lesson with Nick Dark.
Hey rockers, and this week on Music Lesson we're going to be learning Imperfect by Stone Sour. You want to be in E-flat standard tuning. So the easiest way to do that if you don't have a tuner is go to the 6th string and pick the 6th fret on the 6th string and then match it to the A string. That way you drop the 6th string down a half a step from E to E-flat, and then you would just go back to the 5th fret and then tune the rest of the strings to that E-flat. So you want to start off with a variation of an E minor chord. So the standard E minor would be on the 2nd fret on the 4th and 5th string, but you want to add your ring and pinky fingers to the 3rd fret on the 1st and 2nd string, like so. Then from there you want to go to a G chord, so you would just move your middle finger to the 3rd fret on the 6th string. And then you go to a D chord with your index finger on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, your ring finger on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and your middle finger on the 2nd fret on the 1st string. Then you play that, but then at the end of the bar, you hammer on with your pinky onto the 3rd fret on the 1st string, like so. So the first part of the intro goes like this. Then on the second part of the intro, instead of going from the E minor variation to the G, you would actually go to the CAD9 chord. So you basically would switch your index finger to the 2nd fret on the 4th string and then put your middle finger on the 3rd fret on the 5th string. It's basically like a G chord, but you move over one string. So then the second part goes like so. And that's how you play Imperfect by Stone Sour. We'll see you next week, Rockers.
Connecting a strange blend of synth pop and folk music, up-and-coming duo Grapetooth is set to make moves in the music scene. The Chicago natives capture a feeling somewhere between the doomy disco of 80s new wave and the woozy laments of artists like Arthur Russell and Jeff Cowell. Chris Bailoni and Clay Frankel don't really remember how they met, but they said it was at the end of 2015 when Clay remembers dropping by Chris's house to meet up and work on music. Soon, they ended up sharing an apartment together, working on new music, but didn't really have intentions of releasing the music. Then, a friend of theirs was having an album release party, so they decided to open for them and make a video for the song Trouble. From there, they have gotten nothing but praise for their original sound. So the two went back to writing to come up with more ideas and more music. Their debut self-titled album will be released on November 9th and includes songs about death, love, and the movie Badland, and more than a few about drinking wine. Let us know on Twitter what you think about Grapetooth and if you're going to give them a chance at IUP-TV.
Memphis May Fire will drop their new album Broken on November 16th via Rise Records. The band has shared the new song, The Old Me. The Old Me is about the struggle with anxiety and depression, said singer Maddie Mullins about the intensely personal song. What feels like a war between good and evil, loathing the person I've become mentally when it consumes me, and trying to remember what life was like before I lived with the symptoms, ultimately hoping to one day become that person, the old me, again. Memphis May Fire have also announced a fall tour with Atreyu and Ice Nine Kills, which kicks off in Phoenix, Arizona on November 9th.
Grapetooth seems to be an interesting choice of music.
A lot of bands seem to be using the more synth-pop 80s approach to their music.
Yeah, and that's something a lot of people can really vibe with, myself included.
I'm sure a lot of people also like the sound of Memphis May Fire.
Plenty of new options. Anyways, up next is Rockers Review. Hey Rockers, I'm here with Izzy, and today on Rockers Review, we're going to be talking about something that both of us are, well, it's a little bit different, and both of us are pretty passionate about. We're going to be discussing underground rappers, hip-hop artists, R&B artists, that genre. So, Izzy, what are some of your favorite underground artists in hip-hop, rap, R&B, you know, that specific kind of...
Well, it's just one guy from Philly. His name is Core, K-U-R.
Mm-hmm.
He's one artist that I've been listening to. He's been out for a few years, even since I've been in high school, but he's now just like gaining traction and really trying to do things. There's also artists, you have like Gold Link.
I'm a huge fan of Gold Link.
Yeah,
I love Gold Link.
Gold Link's good. Bri Greta. There's Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch is a Compton rapper. He's gaining a lot of popularity lately. Even Meek Mill had showed his album on his Instagram page and really trying to promote him. So like last weekend was a big weekend for all the artists to release. For some reason, everybody wanted to release on the same day, so it was a good time.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty common theme. I feel like everyone just like drops all these albums like at the same time, and it's really overwhelming.
And then you had to figure out which one you really like.
I know, that's how you figure out what artist you really like, because you're like, I want to spend time listening to this one album.
Yeah, but some other artists like Moneybagg Yo, a lot of people don't know about him. He's from Memphis, I believe, and he's just really been coming onto the scene, and he's had a few, he just released a new album called Reset, and has a feature with, he has a few features, including Future, YG.
I did see that, there's Kodak Black. There was like a lot of big names. Like for someone, like I always think it's really impressive when someone like I haven't heard of has all these features with like J. Cole, Kodak Black. I did see that, so to me that's like impressive, or just like, I think that can promote artists. If they're like, if they have cool features at least. Yeah, definitely.
Like even like you were just saying, the fact that they can get these features, like Jay Critch, he just released the album with no features. Like you see some rappers, they'll come in and they'll give you an album where they want to show that they can just rap and give you no features. Like Quavo just released an album with features. Takeoff released one without features.
Yeah.
And now you got this kind of thing like who's really trying to show that they can do on their own.
Yeah, there's a certain level of respect I think that comes with releasing an album with like no features.
Yeah.
Like if it's just you, I think that can show that like you really like know what you're doing, and that or I think the main purpose is you don't need other people's popularity to like become popular. But it does work because like collabs can be super cool.
Yeah, it gives people like a different vibe because if you think about the radio and what we listen to all the time, it's usually just the same old people talking about the same thing, and everyone wants to hear the mainstream, good drums, nice beats. Even with Gunna and Lil Baby, they use a guitar a lot. So that's like the type of music editing that they're using in this like turbo
Yeah.
guitar or something. It's something that makes it sound weird, and you know they can flow off the beat really nicely. But like you were saying, going back into the other rap that's really not played is the more lyrical things that you listen to, or maybe the people that haven't gotten.
More poetic, more just, it's just different. I think that's why I think rap's becoming really popular just because it is like, there's good beats and it's catchy and it's fun, but people like kind of forget it's also like rhythm and poetry. So it's like this like lyrical side that people don't always realize, and I think that's what the whole underground scene is trying to accomplish. So actually, I think that's all the time we have left today, rockers, but thanks for tuning in, and make sure to check out your favorite underground rappers. See you next time, rockers. After the death of their lead singer, Kyle Pavone, the band We Came as Romans held an emotional all-star concert in his hometown of Detroit on Sunday, October 28th. The concert also benefited the foundation established by Pavone's family. Quote, Kyle's life was so short, but this just shows how many people he's reached and influenced. These songs meant the world to Kyle. This venue was his favorite place to be. He'd probably hate that we were all crying, but he wouldn't hate this many people being in this room. And he wouldn't have hated all his best friends being here and singing songs, stated the band's other vocalist, Dave Stevens, to the band's fans at the Fillmore Detroit. Along with We Came as Romans, the concert also included guests such as I Prevail, Memphis Mayfire's Maddie Mullins, For Today, Jess S., Joe Buras, of Born of Osiris, to name a few. The bands performed an 18-song, 90-minute show to honor the late singer. The band was also seen sporting black Promise Me shirts in between performances. Pavone's family, who established a foundation to help musicians struggling with addiction, depression, and other issues, also spoke out on behalf of him and to spread awareness about the importance of mental health in the music industry.
Candace Owens has started the campaign called Black Exit, where she wants African Americans to leave the Democratic Party. Well, regarding what your view is on politics, that's not what we're talking about. But when it comes to Kanye, it's pretty clear that he is a supporter of Donald Trump and the Republican Party. That's why he's decided to make shirts in support of the Black Exit campaign. Kanye has made a couple of different shirts for this campaign, and one of them has the phrase Blexit written on it. It turns out that the idea came from Brexit when Great Britain left the European Union. Blexit is a renaissance, and I'm blessed to say that this logo, these colors, were created by my dear friend and fellow superhero Kanye West, Candace said. He's taken one of the boldest steps in America to open a conversation we have needed to have. Why this has become such a controversy is that not only does Kanye support President Trump, but there is evidence that he made a pretty large donation to Amara Anaya, who is running for mayor in Chicago, but is part of the Democratic Party.
Seems more and more artists aren't afraid to bring hard topics to the attention of the music industry.
Even political topics, it seems.
A very fearless move on both We Came as Romans and Kanye's part.
I agree. Well, rockers, up next is Check This Out.
Hey everybody, today on Check This Out, we've got an IRB regular. He's been on the show all season. You know him, you love him. He's from his band, The Placeholders. He's gonna play some songs for us today. Noah Saylor. Take it away, Noah.
All right, thank you, Jake. When I get up, it's too late to think about the dreams I had. They make me miss you, and we will go back to missing each other each day. We'll end waiting for another. And when it gets late, I dream about memories. All of my fantasy bring me to you, and I can't help but feel your thousands of miles coming to bed and stay for a while. Come back and rescue me from this hell of a place where we work our days away. Oh no. brains might implode from all of our work. Can't feel any drag, makes me feel reversed. I'm trying to see the pointless lights here is counterproductive. Rings in my ears, and killing our time is quite necessary. Keep us from boredom all the time we carry. And we drag on, but we're still together, closer than usual. Listen whenever. Come back and rescue me from this hell of a place where we work our days away. Oh no. Come back and rescue me from this hell of a place where we work our days away. Oh no. Come back and rescue me from this hell of a place where we work our days away. Oh no. Thank you. Okay, I got one more for you guys. This one is more recent. This is from my band. We're called The Placeholders. We formed here in Indiana. This is the first song that we've written, and this is one of my first times playing it on acoustic. So we'll see how that goes. But this is called Back on You. Started out in hazy rooms, a light undone without the sun beneath the moon. I gotta say it's on my mind, I gotta say it's worth a try. Probably not that bad, and time and again it's all I've had. Well, I tried to tell you time and time again that your touch and your taste were completely in my face. But when I see you, I am born again, endearing your hold, running away as fast as I can. looking for distractions, other satisfactions, it never works. In other words, I keep coming back, I can never seem to relax. Time and time it comes again, till the rush goes to my head. Oh yeah, well I tried to tell you time and time again that your touch and your taste were completely in my face. But when I see you, I am born again, endearing your hope, running away as fast as I can. Cause now I'm back on you, and again I'm back on you. Cause now I'm back on you, and again I'm back on you.
Five, four, three, two.
You just heard some great tunes from Noah Saylor. We got Two-Headed Boy, Part 1 from Neutral Milk Hotel. Awesome cover. Great choice, by the way.
Thank you.
And then 2 original tracks. He's here with me now. Thank you for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And I know that you're a reoccurring part of it now, and you're a part of the IRB crew, but it's nice to have you on as a musician, too, because you got skills, bro.
Thank you.
So we appreciate you coming on. What is the cover choice looking like? Do you got a lot of covers you like to do, or is Neutral Milk Hotel at the front of that list?
It's definitely my top 3 rotations, I think, because
you do it real well, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. People have always said like my voice is kind of almost a little Jeff Mangum-ish, and I'm like, well, maybe I should. And I love Neutral Milk Hotel anyway, so I mean, I just kind of like naturally, once I heard in the airplane over the sea for the first time, I'm like, oh, let me learn as many songs as I can off this album, and then it just kind of stuck with me.
It's just one of those albums that, I mean, everybody knows at least one song from, probably. I mean,
definitely.
But other than that, your original songs take a different turn, where it's not those, those like folky chords the entire time with like cryptic and odd lyrics as he has. What are your primary influences when it comes to things like? I see you using like major 9 chords. I see you using cool time signatures. Where does that come from? Your influences?
Well, where does it come from, really? I mean, I don't know. My music, like, in terms of my influences, I have just a lot of different. I mean, I've been listening to. I basically grew up on Radiohead, but I mean, I've just always kind of gravitated towards that like alternative kind of like indie rock stuff. And I mean, honestly, I just like to be creative with my chords and kind of like throw people off sometimes with my timing, because it kind of like makes people kind of say, wow, that's different. That doesn't sound.
Yeah, it's a good route if you're going for a unique feel, you know?
Yeah,
and I remember the first time I ever met you, actually, I had no idea who you were, and you were a guest on my radio show back when I was a co-host with my friend Joe Kukula. Shout out to Joe.
I remember that, yeah.
And you gave a great performance, and in the course of the interview, Joe asked if there was an album that really like did it for you, like something that really like got you into music.
Wasn't
Remember
it
what you
In
said?
Rainbows, yeah.
You said In Rainbows by Radiohead, yeah, and I immediately just like took my headphones off. I was like, me and this man are about to be best friends.
Exactly.
Because I mean, what a great album, and
Yeah.
they got all those cool time signatures and stuff.
Oh, I know, it's awesome.
You could definitely hear those kind of influences coming through, those modern rock kind of feels, rather than the classic folk that you're hearing so much of elsewhere, which is awesome. And tell me a little bit about playing with your band versus playing by yourself. I mean, this is a kind of a rare thing for you, is that right?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of started by myself. I mean, I started basically playing guitar when I was like, I'd say 9th grade, and I never really stopped after that. I mean, I had a few lessons prior to that, but I mean, I always like kind of doing I would sit in my room through high school and just kind of like learn different songs with me and my acoustic guitar. I had a band back in high school, but it, like all first bands, usually it fails horribly.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's so true.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I just kind of always have been into like the whole like singer-songwriter thing. So I love doing that on the side. But it's cool. When I came to school here at IUP, my friend Jesse, who's the guitarist in the band, Jesse Brown, he basically started talking about forming a band, and then we met John Biller, the bassist, and then I met Luke Miller, the drummer, at my orientation. And we all just kind of came together, and we've been together for about a little over a year now. So it's a great time playing with those guys.
We had you on last year. That was the first time I got to hear you guys all playing together. And if you want to check it out. It's on our YouTube page. If you're on YouTube, if you're watching this on TV, check out our YouTube. If you're on YouTube, go down in the bottom, click on IRB, scroll back to last year. You'll see the placeholders. It's a real good performance. It's right here on this very stage. What do you think about the music scene of Indiana? It's definitely in a transformative state right now.
Yeah, definitely.
What's it like for you as someone who's in one of the last bands left?
Wow, I mean, it's kind of hard to think of it that way. I mean,
we got Herbivore, they're often doing their thing. Science Vision, they're often doing their thing.
Yeah.
I mean, successful in their own way, but they're kind of not as centralized in Indiana.
That's
you guys
true,
are, as far as band goes, you guys are kind of holding it down right now. Is that a weird feeling?
It is kind of a weird feeling, especially because, I mean, this is my second year here at IUP, so, and it's pretty, we're only halfway through the first semester. So, I mean, it just kind of happened all suddenly. But, I mean, I really would like to see, new bands up and coming, just kind of like linking together with people so that we can organize and kind of get that music scene flowing again. Because it just kind of, it's fun, it's a good time. Like if you go to Penn State, you can see they organize house shows with like 3 or 4 separate acts throughout the whole night. And it happens every once in a couple weeks. But it's a good time, and I would kind of like to see more of that at IUP. It's cool being one of the bands so far that is, actually doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And you got a show coming up, right? Is that
yes? Yeah,
it's December 1st, right? At
December
the Eagles?
1st. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. It's the Indie Arts Music Festival. We got a lot of good local artists playing. I think Science Vision's going to be there.
Yeah, always good time.
Nathan Janov, you're going to be there. I know. So, yeah. But it'll be pretty fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's always a good time. Check it out. It's at 420 Philadelphia Street. It's the Eagles in Philadelphia Street. Check it out. Yeah, look up the Eagles in Indiana online if you want to check it out. The placeholders will be there. Check it out online on Facebook too if you want to see the set list. I'm sure they'll be releasing soon what time everybody's playing. I imagine you guys will be sometime in like the late afternoon, being one of like the larger bands on the bill. And I can't wait to see it, man. It's going to be a great time.
I'm excited.
Thanks, Noah.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for having me.
What a great performance by Noah Saylor.
Right? Thanks for joining us today on Check This Out.
Make sure to tune in next week for more music content.
Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram at Indie Rockers Ball or on Twitter at IRB-TV.
Till next time, rockers.